Let's talk about the controversial casting of Andrew Barth Feldman in Maybe Happy Ending. Because if you don't know, Andrew Barth Feldman is replacing Darren Criss as Oliver, a role that many people feel should be cast with an Asian actor. And I actually feel like there's two separate questions here. Number one, should the role of Oliver always be played by an Asian actor? And number two, should the role of Oliver in this specific production of Maybe Happy Ending always be played by an Asian actor? And I draw that distinction because I think there is a legitimate conversation to be had around the first question. Because as people who are pro Andrew's casting have pointed out, the role of Oliver and by extension Claire are robots, and robots don't have ethnicity. There are a few textual reasons why casting a white guy in this role could be a little odd. Like the scene I've seen get brought up a lot is the scene where Oliver is saying that all Korean men look the same. That's going to play much differently coming out of a white guy's mouth versus an Asian guy's mouth. But I really wanted to focus this conversation on this specific production of Maybe Happy Ending. This specific production was envisioned to have an Asian cast. They didn't just accidentally cast a bunch of Asian performers, this was a conscious choice from the creative and producing and the casting teams. You may have even seen the LA Times article where the writers of the show talked about this choice, where they said that it was important for them to cast Asian actors in these roles as it better set the audience up in the setting of Korea. And so from the jump, it was clear that this was not only a conscious decision, but this was something that was important to their vision for the piece. It's different from something like Ashley Park originating Gretchen in Mean Girls, where that role was not necessarily specifically envisioned to be Asian, they just happened to cast an Asian actress to originate it. And moving forward, they were able to recast that role with many different actresses of all different ethnicities. So I don't think just because a role is originated by one ethnicity, that means they have to continue to be played by an actor of that ethnicity moving forward. But in this case, it was an intentional choice, and that ethnicity was crucial to the story that the creative team wanted to tell. And so it's really frustrating to see them all of a sudden say, oh no, actually that thing that we said was super important, it's actually not that important anymore. It feels like a punch in the face, especially in an industry where there are not a lot of opportunities for Asian actors. Especially because, to be candid, Asian-led shows have not done great in recent memory. You look at shows like K-pop and Here Lies Love, both of which closed super early. And so to finally have one that's a big hit, that's won all these Tony Awards, and they swap the lead for a white guy, ultimately I think that's why so many people feel really disappointed by this news. So I'm not saying we have to cancel Maybe Happy Ending, that Maybe Happy Ending should close immediately. I think having it on Broadway is still doing a lot of good for representation. Plus the fact that it's a new original musical, like I still want it to succeed for a lot of different reasons. But I do hope that they're able to hear this legitimate criticism that is being levied towards them, understand why so many people are frustrated with this casting decision, and make adjustments moving forward.